Creating impactful and lasting change is a mission, a vision, and a movement. Welcome to Nonprofit Voices of Impact, the show that will delve into the heart of the nonprofit world, showcasing the leaders and change makers who are driving meaningful transformation in our community. Through engaging interviews, real-life success stories, and valuable insights, this podcast highlights the passion, innovation, and dedication that fuels nonprofits across Westchester County. Whether you're a nonprofit leader or advocate, Nonprofit Voices of Impact empowers you with the knowledge and inspiration to make a powerful difference. I'm your host, Dr. Marsha Gordon, President and CEO of the Business Council of Westchester, and I'm joined by my co-host, Linda Tyler, Vice President of Membership and Programs, Business Council of Westchester. Nonprofit Voices of Impact is sponsored by New York Presbyterian and PCSB Bank. Thank you for your support of the BCW Podcast Network. We are so excited about today's conversation, featuring two outstanding leaders making a real difference in our community. Corine Lurry-Mabin, President and CEO of Andrus, and James Schutzer, Senior Partner at Alera Group, and a dedicated supporter of nonprofit organizations like Andrus and like the Business Council of Westchester. He's chairman of our board. Today, we'll explore the importance of not-for-profit leadership, the unique challenges and rewards of working in this space and volunteering in this space, and the incredible impact Andrus continues to have in our community. Nonprofit Voices of Impact is sponsored by New York Presbyterian and PCSB Bank. Thank you for your support of the BCW Podcast Network, which I am so proud to co-host with Linda Tyler.
Thank you, Marsha. Corine and Jamie, welcome to Nonprofit Voices of Impact. We're so excited to have you both here with us today. Before we dive in, could you both share a little bit about yourselves and your businesses?
Well, thank you for having me today. I'm truly excited to join. So, as you mentioned, Corine Lurry-Mabin, I am President and CEO of Andrus, and Andrus is a nonprofit organization. We started almost 100 years ago as an orphanage, where our founder, John Andrus, actually created Andrus as a memorial for his wife, Julia, who was left with the Dykeman family, and they took her in. She was an orphan. And from there, he developed, at the time, our business name is Julia Dykeman Andrus Memorial, where our DBA is Andrus. He created Andrus in memory of his wife. And Andrus today is a place where we provide social and emotional support for children, families, and communities. And we do this in a residential setting, a special education school setting, as well as within the community through mental health supports and family supports. We're really excited. In about 3 years, we'll be celebrating our centennial in 2028. And it's an outstanding organization that truly understands what children, families, and communities and organizations need to thrive. And we also do that through consultation and training nationally and internationally with our sanctuary model.
Now, Corine, I know you've been at Andrus for a very long time, but you've recently become the CEO, correct?
Yes. I grew up here. Started early in my profession. I actually started in the community division, supporting families in transitional housing and homeless shelters, and just kind of was promoted throughout the organization up until recently. Just before stepping into this CEO role, I was the Chief Program Officer. So my journey here started within direct care. So what I tell a lot of the staff when we have our new employee orientation, that there is definitely room for upward mobility here. I am a prime example that if you find a place where you feel you fit and you love, and the organization values you, you have room to grow. And I had that opportunity. So when I started, I didn't think, okay, I'll be the CEO.
Well, congratulations.
But I'm excited to be in this position today.
Well, and you're really a terrific leader. Your journey at Andrus is so inspiring. Jamie, let's talk about your journey as a business person, and also as being so involved on boards, including Andrus and the BCW in the community.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thanks for having me again on the BCW podcast. And it's great to be here with my friend Corine. And for those who don't know, I'm James Schutzer, a senior partner at Alera Group. I'm an employee benefit consultant. Work with all types of organizations, but specifically work heavily in the nonprofit space. And kind of part of my the fabric that makes up who I am is I do like to volunteer. I like to give up my time. Not that I have a lot of free time, but whatever free time I do have, I like to be part of great organizations like Andrus and like the BCW.
Jamie, I think that your time just keeps expanding. Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell by the gray hair that the time is expanding, but I think my age is not. It's continuing to move on. But yeah, I just feel it is something extremely important, something that has been embedded in by my family, specifically my father, who served in the New York State legislature, that it is something that I feel very important, that not only that I have my business and professional life, but I also give back to the community, both the business community as well as the nonprofit community.
You know, and I really wanted to emphasize that, because without volunteers and leaders like James Schutzer, not-for-profits cannot be effective in achieving the mission that we all set out to achieve. And Jamie, it's because of your leadership and your partnership that I know the Business Council of Westchester has grown. I've seen your involvement at Andrus and your passion and your commitment. And we talk about how important Andrus is. And when you have an ambassador like James Schutzer on your board, you're very, very fortunate to have a leader like you. So thank you so much.
And talking about the power of organizations and non-for-profits in the county, every organization, non-for-profit or for-profit, experiences growth and change. What is the biggest challenge at Andrus that you're facing right now? And how are the two of you tackling it?
So the top challenge right now is around staffing and just making sure that we have enough staff to provide the care and treatment for our children and our families. So that's our main challenge right now. In addition to what other organizations are facing is just with the current administration, and how we remain nimble and flexible as new changes are actually passed down, and that the different organizations, nonprofits, are actually facing. And what we found that has been extremely helpful is that we can't sit alone and sit in a silo to try to manage these. We'll work along with partners and volunteers, working along with our board to kind of figure out ways of how we can continue to remain relevant and we continue to remain strong as an organization, connecting along with other community partners to figure out ways of how do we tackle this staffing challenge or this issue. And Jamie was really instrumental in just being a connector for us with identifying another organization to support around some of our staffing challenges. So it lets us know, and it also speaks to our model that for an organization to heal through stressful times, that they have to lean on one another and utilize community to get through. Really connect with the different partners, the volunteers, any other resources to help find a solution to the challenges that they're facing. So we've been doing that to address our staffing issue, which has been the main challenge right now.
Very interesting. You're listening to the BCW Podcast Network. This is Nonprofit Voices of Impact, and we will be right back. Take your organization far with the power of local banking. PCSB Bank's array of services, customized solutions, and local financing decisions mean you have a powerful commercial bank nearby when you need them. Voted best in business banking for 2 years in a row by 914 Inc., PCSB Bank's commitment to serving consumers, businesses, and nonprofits in the community is unparalleled. Stop by one of their 14 branches located throughout Westchester, Putnam, Dutchess, and Rockland counties, or call 888-808-4700 to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. New York Presbyterian has 3 campus locations in Westchester. New York Presbyterian Westchester in Bronxville, New York Presbyterian Hudson Valley Hospital in Cortlandt Manor, and New York Presbyterian Westchester Behavioral Health in White Plains, and a new state-of-the-art facility opening in 2025 at 1111 Westchester Avenue in White Plains. Known as New York Presbyterian The One, this center of excellence will improve access to medical care by offering a wide range of adult and pediatric specialty care all under one roof, delivered by exceptional teams led by trusted Columbia doctors. NYP The One will include centers of excellence in cardiovascular and neurosensory treatment, men's health, women's health, pediatric health, and a cancer center satellite.
And welcome back to the BCW Podcast Network, Nonprofit Voices of Impact. We'd like to thank our sponsors, PCSB Bank and New York Presbyterian. Jamie, would you like to add to Corine's response?
Yep. Yes, I would. When I was asked to be on the board of Andrus, I internalized, well, what value could I bring? I don't know a lot about direct care. I don't know a lot about dealing with children of trauma. But I do know, and Corine and I had a conversation just a couple of weeks ago, and where I feel that the value I bring is the connectivity to the community. And I remember the first time I showed up on the campus of Andrus, and I know Yonkers very well. My grandmother lived there, back in the 70s and 80s, and I was like, wow, like this is Yonkers. And that was one of the first things that attracted me to the organization. But my goal as a board member is really to support Corine and the rest of the organization.
It's great. It's great.
Absolutely wonderful.
So can you share, Corine, a story or a moment that really affirmed the impact of your work?
Just thinking back, there was actually an opportunity or a moment just about a week ago. We had one of our youth in residential, was actually 2, but one in particular, where they recorded a story, well, a song, basically about their life, about their trauma history. And just listening to the lines in the song, the words in the song, how this young residential youth actually, the experiences that she went through, and then how she's on the journey for healing. For me, that was a reminder of that this is why I am doing the work that I'm doing. This is the reason why every interaction and every connection that I make has to have some form of purpose and intent, because our youth and our families who are hurting and who are experiencing trauma, they need those to continue to help them find that hope that's built within inside them. Sometimes it's buried, but they need those organizations like ourselves, like Andrus, to be able to create this space for healing and safety. And it was that moment, just listening to her story recorded, that I said, okay, this is my why.
That is really powerful. Leading in the non-for-profit world can be incredibly rewarding, but also emotionally demanding, as you shared. How do you stay motivated and grounded?
For me, it's about, I can't do this alone. I'm not by myself. To know to ask for help. As human beings, we are social creatures, social beings, so it requires us to stay connected to one another, to ask for help. And also, I think the biggest piece for me is that I wake up each and every day thinking about how can I make an impact? How can I make some type of change or difference in another person's life? So I think about that. So I really have like this positive lens to the way that I look at life, not forgetting about or stating that there's no bad things that don't occur, but really thinking about, okay, how can I find a solution? There's always a solution to every challenge, but really being hopeful and positive and looking at ways of how I can connect with others to grow and to solve a problem together.
And Jamie, how does that translate for you as a board member? Because boards' jobs are about governance and about finances a lot, and events and fundraising and all of that stuff. How do you keep that mission in mind as a board member?
I mean, it really, took a full year of board work to understand the mission of Andrus. The 100 years of history there, and one of the most fascinating things that I love when I go to Andrus and I go to the main building is the family tree that you have there. And I like to look for the board members that are active now and where they fall, either fourth or fifth generation. And
it's incredible.
It really, it's something you should see. Yeah. But it's, so learning about what the organization is doing for these children who, by no fault of their own are put in a position that has been impacted by trauma, and just the mission of the work of Corine and her team, and trying to fix these children and make them live better lives. And it's just watching it and hearing the stories is truly inspirational. And I like, that's what really attracts me and keeps me going as part of the board.
Really great advice from both of you. So looking ahead, Corine, what is your vision for Andrus? Where are you leading these wonderful board members with your vision for Andrus in the next 2 to 3 years?
So my focus for the next 2 to 3 years is really looking at ways of how do I continue to build on the legacy, the Andrus legacy, and enhance it. How do I invest in the people, the staff here, so that way they can grow and thrive? And also, how do I continue to strengthen our position as a leader in trauma responsive care?
Very, very important. Very important. Thank you.
That leads us to our next question. But first, let's take a break to listen to our sponsors, New York Presbyterian and PCSB Bank. You're listening to the BCW Podcast Network. This is Nonprofit Voices of Impact, and we'll be right back.
New York Presbyterian has 3 campus locations in Westchester. New York Presbyterian Westchester in Bronxville, New York Presbyterian Hudson Valley Hospital in Cortlandt Manor, and New York Presbyterian Westchester Behavioral Health in White Plains, and a new state-of-the-art facility opening in 2025 at 1111 Westchester Avenue in White Plains. Known as New York Presbyterian The One, this center of excellence will improve access to medical care by offering a wide range of adult and pediatric specialty care, all under one roof, delivered by exceptional teams led by trusted Columbia doctors. NYP The One will include centers of excellence in cardiovascular and neurosensory treatment, men's health, women's health, pediatric health, and a cancer center satellite. Take your organization far with the power of local banking. PCSB Bank's array of services, customized solutions, and local financing decisions mean you have a powerful commercial bank nearby when you need them. Voted best in business banking for 2 years in a row by 914 Inc., PCSB Bank's commitment to serving consumers, businesses, and nonprofits in the community is unparalleled. Stop by one of their 14 branches located throughout Westchester, Putnam, Dutchess, and Rockland counties, or call 888-808-4700 to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Welcome back to the BCW Podcast Network. This is Nonprofit Voices of Impact. I'm Marsha Gordon, and I'm joined by my co-host, Linda Tyler. And Corine, Jamie, Linda, and I have been having a fantastic conversation all about nonprofit leadership, community impact, and the power of mission-driven work, especially at Andrus.
Before we wrap up, for those listening who want to get involved, what can individuals and businesses do to support the work of nonprofits like Andrus?
So the first thing is just to reach out. I have the number 965-3700, 914 area code. You can check out our website. But we love to invite volunteers who are interested in giving back. It doesn't always have to be money. We take money too, but your time, your ideas, just being able to connect and develop new relationships with our children and our families. Also, if anyone is interested in learning more about, we have a new initiative that we're rolling out hopefully by next year, something called Foot Golf. It is
I got a chance to see this. This is very cool. This is fun.
So Foot Golf is actually a combination of soccer and golf, but without the golf clubs. And it's just you're kicking a soccer ball in large size holes in the green. So we're developing a small course here on the grounds, and it's an adaptive sport. So it's a sport that all youth and individuals can actually play. It'll be a way for our children to engage throughout the environment. So really incorporating the greenery, the trees, the plants as they're going through the course leading up to our farm. So it's a way to not only re-engage our youth in an activity, but also with our staff and our youth and other partners in the community. So it'll be team building or ways that we can connect and network with other community partners on the foot golf course throughout going down to our farm. So volunteering, maybe coming by and not necessarily if you have funds, but you will accept your funds, but donating your time. Maybe there's a skill or talent that you have. As you know, children and even adults are sponges. So if you have something that you would like to share, we had a volcanologist here one day teaching our youth about volcanoes. So if you have a special gift or talent, we'll accept that as well because we grow and learn as a community. So if you're interested, just reach out. You could reach out to me directly if you like, or go through our main line and we'll get you situated with where you feel you would work best.
And Jamie, you're going to be playing this foot golf also?
Yeah, think of soccer meets mini golf. And for the record, I am 1-0. I did beat the CFO, Richard Thompson, in a foot match. This is now on record. He wants a rematch, but we'll see about that. But the one other thing I do want to add about the campus of Andrus is, that first time I was there, and it was beautiful. December and it was cold, but there's so much to see again in downtown Yonkers. There's a working farm, there's a greenhouse, there's an obstacle course, there's soon to be a foot golf, and so I would encourage anyone who wants to learn more about the organization, just take a tour.
Mm-hmm. And I know someone who is not a young man anymore, who was a child at Andrus, and you must get, I'm sure, Corine, you know lots of these people, and you must get such great satisfaction when you see people who were children at Andrus and now have families of their own and professions and are contributing back to society. And that's what staff and staff leadership and people that work and boards and volunteers, that's what you do together. You change people's lives. That's what this is really about. And in the middle of all that, you look at the finances and you do things the right way and you do things responsibly. And that's part of running an organization. That's leadership. We're very proud of the Business Council of Westchester to have 155 not-for-profits as members, and because we've always seen not-for-profits as an integral part of the economy of Westchester County and in the region. And Andrus has been a member and involved with the Business Council of Westchester for over 20 years. And I'm so proud to have both of you and to have this very unique connection, having our chairman of the board, James Schutzer, serve on the board of Andrus. And Corine, we wish you the very best in your leadership, and we'll be there to support you so much. And we'd like to thank especially our wonderful sponsors, New York Presbyterian and PCSB Bank, and my co-host, Linda Tyler, and all of our listeners, of course. Thank you
for the work you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Be sure to check out the BCW Podcast Network's expansive lineup of shows: Leadership Unleashed, What's Trending, Advocacy and Politics Unplugged, The Member Spotlight, and Nonprofit Voices of Impact. The Business Council of Westchester is the county's largest business membership organization focusing on economic development and advocacy. With over 1,100 members, it is our mission to work for the profitability of our members and the prosperity of the Westchester community. To learn more, go to thebcw.org.